watching. Yo, what's going on, guys? Back again. If you wind up watching the live review of Brand of Sacrifice, thank you for joining me for that. But yeah, very excited to get into this one. Picturesque, I've been friends with them. They're like family to me at this point, and I felt like, you know, I needed to check out this EP because very similarly to their other projects that they've done musically, I have listened to it. I've been a fan since Monstrous Things, which was like the first EP they did. And even a little bit before that, they had like a couple songs out in like Bandcamp that like did super well. Back to Beautiful was like the first album I reviewed of theirs. Do You Feel Okay was the most current one. And then Now We're Here. If you know, is their newest EP. You can check the links in the description to go pick it up. Go support the guys. I don't know if they'll be releasing this EP physically or not, so be very curious to see where we're at on that one. But yeah, overall, really excited to get into this EP as a whole, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it because it's gonna be a good one. So hopefully, my event went off. What the heck? Okay, cool. It just wasn't, my phone's being weird. Anyway, very excited to delve into this one. I have done both a reaction video for Strange Habits and Hopeless, but there's a couple other songs off this EP that I have not listened to as of yet. So we're going to delve into those, and very excited. So let's start off the review with Strange Habits, which is the first track.
Strangers getting high in the middle of a crowded room. All this smoke in my eyes, can't breathe when I try to move. Distracting myself, somebody come and help. It's all just a game and I really don't want to lose. Never really heard the words you say, knew to keep it down and look away. So I've been looking back since I was 8. Maybe that's why I am this way.
So good.
Wondering why I am this way. I have strange habits. I'm easily distracted, yeah. When I'm stuck with myself, I self-isolate. Can't keep my feelings straight. I wake up every day wondering why I am this way. Pitch dark on an empty road, driving through the night just to talk, cause you won't pick up the phone.
Got some great vibes to it. I like this song a lot. A lot more of that strong like pop hooks within the song. Little bass riffing from Jordan, my guy.
All inside, masking my pain with smiles. I wear this shit with pride. That's why I am this way. I'm quick to cut you off, disappear into the walls and just get
I like those melodies. Tight.
Maybe that's why I am this way. I have strange habits. I'm easily distracted, yeah. When I'm stuck with myself.
All right, guys, that was the first song off of If You Know, You Know by Picturesque. I did wind up doing a reaction video to this track when it first dropped, which was like, I would say like maybe a month ago, something like that. But I have been kind of seeing their journey over, I don't even know how many years, probably close to 7 now at this point. In regards to their musical change, I felt like Do You Feel Okay was their first like real introduction into changing it over. I've had like multiple conversations about them kind of wanting to delve into different styles of music and how they kind of, I don't want to say like lost love for post-hardcore, but just kind of like, just it wasn't something that they were interested in writing anymore. I think it had a lot to do with just the first album being released on a couple different occasions, and like a lot of their songs kind of moved more into like, you know, the rock sort of direction as well. So I think that this song feels like the next step after Do You Feel Okay, which I mean obviously would make sense considering that was the album that they just released recently-ish. And I think that there's a lot of moments within this EP that I think utilize and show off their skill as a band. This song has some really great songwriting to it, really catchy, really fun. I love the guitar riffs as well, really something that I think I gravitated a lot towards. As well as that, I love like Kyle's kind of almost like raspy sort of vocals. I don't feel like he was able to do as much with that within like the earlier Picturesque stuff. I feel like if anything, he was kind of going more into that screaming sort of direction. So it's nice to just hear him just going off doing some more of the like vocal runs that you if you've seen them recently, you would kind of expect from them at this point. But I appreciate more of the pop sensibility that this band's brought. Again, the guitar work is really solid from both Zach and Dylan. Appreciate their stuff there. But I love Jordan's bass riffing on this track. This is probably one of my favorite songs that Jordan has been a part of. I've been learning bass on and off for the past couple years since the pandemic happened, and he's got some really great bass riffs, so maybe I'll have to try to learn this on bass if it's possible. So but yeah, it was just a fun, really vibey track. I think it's like one of those songs that would work really well in this time of year, like spring, summer. It's just got that kind of like roll the windows down, just let the sun kind of just come in and just, you know, have a good vibey time. So I really enjoyed this one a lot, and I think that it really kind of shows what sonic direction that they're going in. Hopeless kind of does that as well too, but maybe even more to a greater extent. But Strange Habits is a nice song that I feel like if people aren't really familiar with more like the post-hardcore stuff, I think that this obviously is not within the post-hardcore realm, but I think it does have a lot more like kind of rock elements. So if they're trying to migrate more into heavier music, then you know, I think this is a good starting point, and then you can obviously let them listen to like Back to Beautiful, and that's where you'll really get some great post-hardcore sounds as well. I want to just preface that I still love all of their older stuff, but I also love their new stuff as well. I think that oftentimes with bands, when they change genres, it can be a little bit of a change, and I think they did a really good job of kind of introducing that sort of sound, but not going too nuts. And I feel like this is just another stepping stone into the type of direction that they want to go into, if not like the final product. So but yeah, Strange Habits, really rad track. I enjoyed this one a lot. But we are going to move on to the next one, which is Borrowing Problems. So let's give it a listen.
You got a borrowing problem, and all I do is take apart my body, and you take advantage of my every move, scattered in pieces all around the room. I gave you the keys.
Ooh, nice falsetto. All right, Kyle, let's go.
shade, tangled in your bullshit, tied up in claustrophobic.
This is tight.
Cut me loose or cut me open. Why can't you fucking focus? I gave you the keys, stayed when you crashed. You left the scene with your
all right.
I wouldn't give you my life if I didn't want it back. Using never really want to. There's no one left. You just wanna get high. You don't wanna make it back. You gotta borrow and borrow.
I like this like octave riff, tight. I like the kind of beat going on here, really tight.
You want me to bleed? I got nothing left. Cut off at the knees with your every breath. So don't speak, cause you haven't earned that. Think it's time you turn back. This bridge is burned black. You want somebody to bleed? I got nothing left. Cut off at the knees with your every breath. So don't speak, cause you haven't earned that. Think you better turn back. This bridge is burned black. I wouldn't give you my life if I didn't want it back. Using never really
Those are sick. I like this.
no one left. You just wanna get high. You don't wanna make it back. You gotta borrow and borrow.
That was a tight riff. I like that. Guys, that was track 2 off of Picturesque newest album / EP called If You Know, You Know. Check the links below to go pick it up. Go check it out. Go support the guys, my homies, my friends, my family. Well, I kind of lumped that all up. That was great. I like this song a lot. This one I think I might even like a little bit more than Strange Habits. I kind of like the more like emo kind of undertone of the track. It gave me a similar vibe to the previous. I guess it's the only more current Broadside album. Into the Raging Sea, I think it's called. But it gave me that kind of vibe, almost that like emo alt sort of feel to it. Which is, shouldn't be a surprise to anybody who listens to Picturesque. I feel like that's really what they've been gunning for over like the past couple years after releasing Do You Feel Okay, which is what I mentioned before. But I like that this song gets to highlight more of Kyle. I felt like with both Strange Habits and Hopeless, he kind of keeps a similar thing. Obviously, I think the vocal runs have gotten that much better, but I felt like with this song he really got to belt more, and as well as that use his falsetto range, which I think, obviously in previous material he's been able to just hit those insanely high notes, but I like the fact that this one was a little bit more tailored. Like, I think that is probably the best way I can describe what Picturesque is doing right now, is just like really tailoring in on their sound, because I felt like Do You Feel Okay was really solid. I think it's a good work, and going back and listening to it more currently, just to kind of give me a better idea for how this EP is going to shape up. I do feel like it gave a good kind of opening to this EP to allow more show off of what the band's capable of doing, and highlighting more of that sort of alt sound that they're bringing now. And I think they've done a very good job of it thus far. I think with the 3 songs thus far that I've listened to already, they kind of really bring that sort of momentum to the track. But yeah, I think that Kyle's falsetto was really nice within this song. It was definitely a well-needed adjustment, and I think that as well as that, it made the songs a little bit more interesting as well, because you got to hear a little bit more like vocal diversity. And then the parts where he was able to belt a little bit more, I like that as well too, because I think that maybe with Strange Habits, I felt like it was a little bit like more in that kind of like straight line, and I kind of like a little bit of variation vocally to keep the songs interesting. So like that. The guitar work was really great on this track as well. I love that kind of like real like octave kind of fuzz feel to like the riff. I thought that was really tight as well, and I just like the fact that they're giving Jordan more space to run with. I think that obviously with the songs having more of kind of electronic kind of trap beat to them, I think that allows for him to play around a lot more with the bass lines and be a little bit more aggressive with like the styling and such. So I really appreciate that, and I think it makes the songs more like lively, a little bit more low end heavy, and I think that that's really sick. So enjoyed this one a lot, and I think this one's a really solid one. But we are going to move it on to track 3, which is Hopeless. So I've already gotten into it already. Falsetto. I like that.
I'm sinking into the couch. I don't really want to be here right now. Paint chipping off of the walls. No way out the haunted house. Something is getting into me. I feel seasick. I'm not moving. These people don't even see me. I'm screaming, feel like I'm losing it. I've been tripping around in circles for a little bit.
I like this guitar part. Oh, so sick. The riffs are tight.
Nothing ever changes and you're stuck with it. Yeah, you're stuck with it. I've been here before, bodies on the floor, cold shit burning up my throat, staring at the dark focus. I think I should go, buried under smoke, snowed in. I'm feeling so sick, maybe this is hopeless. I've been here before, bodies on the floor, cold shit burning up my throat, staring at the dark focus. I think I should go, buried under smoke, snowed in. I'm feeling so sick, maybe this is hopeless. Am I the only one that sees a problem in a room with no doors, no clock, time's flying, don't remember how I got here, think I'm lost, now I'm stuck, warped vision, feeling dizzy, hit the ground and wake up. I've been here before, bodies on the floor, cold shit, burning up
I
my
like the
throat,
piano
staring
matches
at
with
the
that
dark
guitar riff.
focus.
Really
I
tight.
think I should go, buried under smoke, snowed in. I'm feeling so sick, maybe this is hopeless. Hopeless.
I thought this was odd upon first listen, I'll give you that. Now I kind of like it.
I've been here before, bodies on the floor, cold shit burning up my throat, staring at the dark focus. I think I should go, buried under smoke, snowed in. I'm feeling so sick, maybe this is hopeless. I've been here before, bodies on the floor, cold shit burning up my throat, staring at the dark focus. I think I should go, buried under smoke, snowed in. I'm feeling so sick, maybe this is hopeless.
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, that was track 3, Hopeless, off of If You Know, You Know by Picturesque. Out now. You can check the links below if you want to go pick it up. But I enjoyed this one. I think when I first listened to it, I really was not a fan of it. I'll be quite transparent on that. I don't think it was particularly a bad song. It just was really kind of a little bit out of left field for me, and I didn't really kind of get it upon first listen. But I will say I've really come around on this song. I'd say the energy of it really is brought. And I also feel like Hopeless, just as a single, I think was a good song, but I think needs this sort of context to be in an EP. Like, I don't know if this could have been like a one-off song for me, but I like the fact that this is in here because I think it matches up well with Borrowing Problems as well as Strange Habits, and for that to be the first song to listen to, well, Hopeless to be the first song to listen to, doesn't really give you a really good generalization of the album, I think. So, especially considering Strange Habits was a little bit more softer, a little bit more melodic. So thus far, unless like the last 3 tracks are just like the same energy as this one, then I'll bite my tongue. But for right now, I think that it did kind of give you an idea of it. I definitely feel like it pulled more from I gave me that kind of energy when they did that cover of Black Bear's Do Re Mi. It kind of gave me that sort of vibe, which I like that as well too, but it's definitely a change of pace, and I felt like with Hopeless, this was another kind of turn. But now looking back on it and listening to it again, I really enjoyed this one a lot. I like the kind of like almost like Spanish kind of undertone to the track. I think it has a lot to do with like that piano riff, along with how that's matched up with like the guitar riff. It's got kind of like that salsa kind of like, it's got a little bit of spice to it, which I appreciate. And I think this one utilizes Kyle a little bit more in terms of his musical background. I know when the last time we spoke to him, he was really into kind of like rap and hip hop and that kind of styling, and you can really hear that with some of the more vocal cadences that are going on with Kyle's vocals, which I didn't really necessarily pick up on, but now listening to these songs, like now I can definitely hear it. So I really enjoy this one a lot. It gave me like the current bands that I'm really enjoying, like a home team kind of vibe, that sort of like bouncy, aggressive, like pop sort of feel to it, like heavy pop is I'd probably label it, which I really appreciate. So this one was a fun one. I think it's definitely got that sort of crowd energy to it that I think this song would definitely be going off live, certainly. But yeah, really enjoyed this one a lot. It was a fun one, very vibey, very punchy, aggressive, in all the right ways. And I kind of retract my statements when I first listened to it because I don't feel like I gave it a fair shake. So, but I enjoyed this one a lot, and I think EP contextually wise, it's a lot better. Again, with that sort of like really kind of octavized guitar parts, and then just the bass kind of to bring in that low end of the track, really nice. And the drums, I think the drums are the only thing that's really bothering me about this EP, is just they feel a little bit like soft. Like there's just something about it where like when that chorus hits, you're expecting those drum hits to just fucking smack, and I don't really feel like I'm getting that with the drumming on this EP. So I don't know what happened, but it just doesn't have that punch, and I really wish it had like a little bit more. Like I wish the snares had a little bit more snap to them. I wish like the cymbals had a little bit more like punch to them, because it just kind of feels muted. And with like an energetic chorus like this, I would highly I would hope that there would be some sort of like aggression to it, or just a little bit more punch, drumming wise. So I think that would be my only major critique about this song, is just like if the drumming was on point on this track, 10 out of 10, this would be a slap-a-rooney. But I do feel like just because the drums just aren't hitting right now with all of the songs, I feel like the drums have kind of just taken a back seat. I think if there was some really great drumming on this EP thus far, I think I'd be even more stoked about it. But yeah, that really kind of can, I don't think we put a lot of sentiment into how much drumming matters within an EP or an album, but it really does, because I think it brings that sort of energy level that you would want to expect. Like you feel that in your chest, you feel it in your bones, you feel it in your body. So, when it's not there, it's a little lackluster, if I'm going to be completely frank, So, if there's better drumming on this, 10 out of 10 would have crushed this song. Still think it's a very good song, don't get me wrong, but the drumming on it, I think, would have absolutely made this song sing that much more. But hey, I digress. I don't know what type of things are going on, but maybe it just didn't work out the way that they intended it to. But yeah, that would be my only major critique about this song, would be that. But we are going to move it on to track 4, which is Break It All. So let's give it a listen.
Rolling out of bed with my heart in your hands, body going cold in this apartment again. Cracked glass on my chest where you slept. It's another scratch, I'll just add to the rest. Let's break it all, make it all come down. I've been off, can't get off the ground. So fuck it all, it's not enough. You can take what you want, if that's what you want. I've been sleepwalking with the shades of my eyes. Stare to the stars when our lips touch. My baseline stays flat when I wake up. I don't wanna wake up now. I've been sleepwalking with the shades of my eyes. Stare to the side when our lips touch. My baseline stays flat when I wake up. I don't wanna wake up now.
Oh, all right. Go off. Go off, Kyle.
My baseline stays flat when I wake up. I don't wanna wake up now. Buried in the couch, let the sun fall away. Static in my mind, white noise in my brain. Feel like I'm a ghost, everything's going great. Try to pull me close, I don't know what to say. So break it all, make it all come down. I've been off, can't get off the ground. So fuck it all, it's not enough. You can take what you want, if that's what you want. I've been sleepwalking with the shades of my eyes. Stare to the side when our lips touch. My baseline stays flat when I wake up. I don't wanna wake up now, no.
I like this. Okay.
Rolling out of bed with my heart in your hands. Body going cold in this apartment again. 'Cause I don't wanna wake up. I've been sleepwalking with the shades of my eyes. Stare to the side when our lips touch. My baseline stays flat when I wake up. I don't wanna wake up now.
I like Kyle showing off his higher range. That's nice. All right, guys, that was track 4, Break It All. I thought this one was cool as well. Really liked it. The energy was there, certainly. But I really kind of appreciated more of Kyle's like higher register within this song. I feel like since they've changed like tones and kind of changed different sounds, like Kyle still pushes his vocals certainly, but I really haven't heard like the insanely high range that he has, and I felt like this song really kind of highlighted some of that, some of those really really high vocal prowess that Kyle brings. So like that addition to the track. The guitar work was really solid again. Just Zach and Dylan have been crushing it in this. But I do feel like the drumming kind of again felt very muted. It just kind of really it really brings an interesting thought process to the songs itself, because I think everything else sounds really great, but it does just kind of feel like it almost kind of feels like they like press play on the drums and you just have like some guy doing like you have like a VST doing like the hi-hat, snare, and then like kick, and it just doesn't have that like feeling that you would kind of expect, or like interesting fills, or like something to make it a little bit more like less just like bland. That's the best way I can kind of describe it. It's just like it brings down that sort of already good stuff that I think the band collectively has, but the drumming just, I don't know, there's just something missing about it that I wished I wish there was better drumming on it. That's kind of like the thing that I think is kind of throughout this EP that I've noticed pretty strongly, was that just like it just feels very like plain Jane, and it's just like the guy, whoever, whatever happened, I don't know what it may be, but like it just kind of, you just have this like very straight beat, somebody hits the cymbal, it doesn't have that sort of human touch that I feel like drumming should have. It's somebody that should be connected with the type of music that is made, and from what I could guess, it sounds like programmed drums, but I can't be 100% for sure for that. But it just feels kind of bland, and I think that just really saddens me, because I think the actual musicality of the song is really fun, and I think if there was a way for them to kind of like have them redo the drums in some way or make it a little bit more interesting, I think that would have been fun. But yeah, just kind of like the thing that I noticed truly that I think it might be programmed drums is in that bridge part, where like it's literally just like them hitting like the just the kick drum, the snare, and the hi-hat, but it just, the way that it's blended in, it just feels like it's just panned in, like it just, like they don't do any like fill or anything interesting to kind of bring the drumming back into the fold. Like I think a typical drummer would really kind of accentuate that a little bit more, or make it more interesting, or the way that they kind of do that. Because I mean, risers and that sort of stuff is not the issue. Like bands do that a lot, and I think it's awesome and I love it. But I think in this inclusion of it, it just kind of is like, okay, we just slide the dial, the drums come in, and that's it. Like it just feels very petri dish to me. And I really wish that there was some better drumming on this EP. If I could be really kind of a little bit blunt about it, I think that the songs thus far have been great sonically. It's just that's the low point on this EP, is just like the drumming that really hurts my soul to say, because I genuinely like all of these songs thus far, musicality wise. It's just these drumming, the drums really just take me out of it almost, and that's I don't ever feel like you want that within the type of music that's released, is that you don't want to be outside of the box and feel unimmersed within an album, an EP, a song, whatever it is. And drumming is such an integral part of a band. I think that when it is kind of utilized in the program way, you can really tell who's doing it and why they're doing it. And yeah, I would have loved to hear some like really cool, like, because there could have been some really awesome fills, there could have been some really great moments that would have just brought more of that energy, and I think it would have kind of transferred over into some of like the guitar work, or some of the vocal work, or the bass work. So yeah, so that would be my only thing, and I think they're trying to compromise that with just like Jordan going super hard on some of the bass lines, because there really is something missing in that aspect. But I do appreciate the fact that Jordan is just like putting the team on the back and trying to do something a little extra, so that's much appreciated. And I don't want to discount Jordan's contribution to this EP as well, because he's been crushing it bass wise as well too. But yeah, I think like in order for him to shine, I also feel like the drummer has to be included, since they're so like interconnected in that way. So that's my rant. But yeah, I think that some of these songs could benefit from just more unique or interesting drumming personally. So we are going to move it on to track 5, which is Watterson West. So let's give this one a listen.
Watterson West, your hair is a mess, head on my chest, I'm burning all of my gas, enjoying the ride, forgetting the rest is worth it, running away, or coming to stay, don't really care, I want it, riding the brakes, I know hurt, I don't talk about it. Ever since our eyes met, feel like I was blinded, might just be the light.
Like the vocal line going on in this track, really tight.
I just started driving, losing track of timings. I think that I like it, baby, and these street lights feel like they could hypnotize me. Brake lights, late nights, fucking with my eyelids. Radio silence, a sleeping co-pilot. hair is a mess, head on my chest, I'm burning all of my gas. Enjoying the ride, forgetting the rest is worth it. Running away, or coming to stay, don't really care, I want it. Riding the brakes, I know hurt, I don't talk about it. Water some west, your hair is a mess, head on my chest, I'm burning all of my gas. Enjoying the ride, forgetting the rest, it's worth it. Running away, or coming to stay, don't really care, I want it. Riding the brakes, I know hurt, I don't talk about it. Will I type old text and delete it when I read it back? How many nights will I keep on playing games, faking reasons till the feelings pass? Tripping over every line. I wish I had the nerve to say what's
I like
on
this
my
opening,
mind.
really tight.
It's never right, it's never right. Overthinking, understating, stressing, forgetting how to act.
I like the group vocals, nice.
Water some west, your hair is a mess, head on my chest, I'm burning all of my gas. Enjoying the ride, forgetting the rest, it's worth it. Running away, or coming to stay, don't really care, I want it. Riding the brakes, I know hurt, I don't talk about it.
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, this is track 5 off of Picturesque newest EP. If you know, you know. You can check the links below to go check this one out. This one was pretty solid. I like the kind of I like the flow of this track. I think that Kyle does a great job of kind of taking the reins of this song. You can really tell he's got this kind of cadence to his voice, very akin to, like, you know, a hip hop or rap artist, which again I know previously when I talked to them last year, maybe possibly the year before that, they were really pulling from more of that pop and like alt and like even kind of rap style of music. So it would make a lot of sense to say that they garnered a lot of influence from that. I also really kind of enjoyed the difference in the bridge of the track. I like how it kind of opens up. It's just mainly vocals and drums, which I think is really nice. And then at the end, I like the group vocals. The way they end off the song was really nice as well too. But I don't think there was anything crazy about this song specifically. I think it kind of keeps a low-key kind of feel to it, and it's more about kind of the vibe of the song as opposed to just maybe more so the musicality of it, because it really isn't. It kind of keeps an even keel. I don't think there was anything particularly where I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome, or like, oh, I didn't really like that part. Like, it just kind of was like, this is a solid track through and through. And I think if you really are looking for a song to just kind of vibe out to, then this one might be the one to give a listen to. So I think this one was solid, but yeah, I think it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just this one just kind of had more of a chill feel to it, so appreciate that. But we are going to move into the final track of the EP, Dance with the Devil. So let's give this one a listen.
Broke my teeth to keep the pretty sad people away. It's hard to speak, I already know what you want me to say. I'm what you need, and you use me till I bend and I break. I break. It's the drug that gets you down, and it's where you wanna stay. And
all right,
the sound, but the records all replay. Crying off your makeup,
this is what I was looking for. This type of energy. Kyle. Go off. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Take a step and to feel you click under my feet. If I let you burn it down, are you happy? I let you when you pull the pin, and that's
I like the harmony. That's tight.
I take always questioning my head till obsession turns to shame. Forgetting what I said, I swear I tell you every day. You make me spit it out like you expect this shit to change. Cause you're living for the pain and making others feel the same. Whoa. I wanna watch you dance with the devil. Rope around your neck like a medal. Drag me down, but it's all so shallow. No, I wanna watch you dance with the devil.
Oh, let's go. That was great. What a way to end the EP. Guys, if you're tuning in, this is the last song, Dance with the Devil, off of If You Know, You Know, by Picturesque. I like this one a lot. I think this one is probably the best song off the EP, without a doubt. Gave me a lot of similar vibes to that of Attention from their previous album, Do You Feel Okay? Has that kind of strong rock vibe to it. I love that. As well as that, I love the kind of octavized guitar riff. Really, really tight. I think it just adds the overall beefiness of the track. The bass comes in just absolutely riffing, and I think this one really gives me that sort of rocker feel that I was kind of missing from Kyle's vocals. So really appreciated this one. I think this has a ton of energy to it, and I think that a lot of the reason why I enjoy this is just kind of it's very similarly to Do You Feel Okay, which I thought, overall, really solid record. I don't know why I was gonna say EP. Really solid record. But yeah, I really, 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 really like this one a lot. I think Kyle got to show off his vocal prowess in this song as well. The band itself, like instrumentally wise, was really, really solid. And I think it adds that just overall depth of the entire EP. So I think this one's number one. I think my second favorite track off the record, I would say, is actually Hopeless. Borrowing Problems was probably my next favorite, and then Strange Habits. I think those are really the ones that I was vibing with. I think if I really had to kind of narrow down my top three, it would be Dance with the Devil, Hopeless, and Borrowing Problems. I think would be my top three favorites off the EP. Since there are only 6 songs, I feel like half the record is something I'm really vibing out with. Strange Habits, I think it would put as an honorable mention if I could. But yeah, I think overall, really solid. I think there was definitely some missteps on this EP, more specifically. I think the drumming was really kind of the biggest suffering point for me. I really love the musicality of it. I think both Jordan, Kyle, Zach, Dylan, I think all of them collectively do a really great job of, they sound tight collectively. I don't know if whether or not their drummer is still part of the project or not, but it does feel like there's something missing within the drumming section of the band, because it just doesn't have that sort of that punch you would expect from this type of genre. I think there has to be this sort of big boombastic kind of feel to these types of songs, especially if they're going more into sort of the pop alt or the hard pop kind of realm of things. there has to be that level of like punch to the EP, and I felt like drumming wise, it just was kind of bland, and I really do wish that there was just some better drumming going on in this EP, because I think it really as a whole was really solid. So just to have the drumming not really hit, no pun intended, it really was something that I was a little bit disappointed with, if I'm going to be 1000%, and so I hope that with the next release, they get a good drummer that really kind of works well with their sound, because I do feel like there's a lot of potential for them to just like really carry on with this sound. But if they don't have someone that just kind of evokes that sort of same styling or feeling within the drumming, it may not work as well as that I intend, or at least the band intends it to. So I that would be kind of my main stress point. But overall, I think the songs had some really great vibes. If you're a fan of like Dead Lakes right now, I know Daydreamer was another album I did very recently in terms of review. If you like that band, you're gonna love this new EP. I think it's on a similar wavelength as that. But yeah, it's really kind of got that heavy pop sort of vibe to it, but also kind of delving more into kind of like hip hop and rap and sort of stuff. So again, if you are a fan of Dead Lakes right now, then this is another EP to check out for you. But let me know what your thoughts are on If You Know, You Know. I would love to know down in the comment section below what you think about this EP. And I just want to thank Engage as well as Picturesque for shooting this over. I know Picturesque and I go way back, so I only do this with love. I love these guys so much, and I really do want to see them do well as a band and as a collective. So for me, I would hope that the next time that they release something, that it just kind of crushes, because I love to see my homies do well, and I really feel like the drumming on this was okay, but I know it can be so much better. So that would be my only major critique, but overall enjoyed the musicality of it nonetheless. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way. I do plenty of similar content here if you are new. So if you like this way that I do about like albums and stuff, then you're probably gonna like a lot of stuff here musically. So thank you for watching. Always much love, and hope to catch you guys in the next video.